Did you know that the Titanic's legacy continues to be constructed even after a century? And you might even have the opportunity to personally step aboard and immerse yourself in the experience of this legendary ship. Welcome back to the History Time Machine, your favorite portal into the past. Today, we're diving deep beneath the surface of the well-known Titanic narrative, unearthing the hidden tales, the shadowy secrets, and the overlooked stories that have been cloaked in the fog of time for over 100 years. We're going to walk in the shoes of those aboard the Titanic, from the glittering grandeur of first-class cabins to the humble, huddled spaces of third-class passengers. We'll shine a light on the controversial figures who lived to tell the tale, the often ignored Chinese survivors, and the ripple effects of this monumental tragedy that continue to echo through the ages. And if you're asking yourself, why should I stay till the end? Well, we're not just spinning the wheel of history here. We're about to drop some jaw-dropping facts and unveil untold stories that will forever transform your perception of the Titanic. So buckle up and prepare to plunge into the depths of the unknown. First on our list is Joseph Bruce Ismay, the managing director of the White Star Line, the company that owned the Titanic. Ismay was on the maiden voyage of the Titanic and managed to survive the disaster. His survival was controversial because, as a high-ranking official of the company, some felt he should have gone down with his ship. Ismay's story is one of survival and scandal. When the Titanic hit the iceberg, Ismay helped load women and children into the lifeboats. Once all the lifeboats were launched, he found himself on the deck of a rapidly sinking ship. Seeing an empty spot on a collapsible lifeboat, he jumped in. This decision would haunt him for the rest of his life. Ismay was vilified in the press. Headlines branded him a coward, accusing him of saving himself, while others, including women and children, went down with the ship. His reputation was forever tarnished. Despite his claims that he had helped others before saving himself, the question remains, did Ismay use his position to ensure his survival at the expense of others? Next, we meet William Ernest Carter, a wealthy American who was traveling on the Titanic with his wife, 2 children, and their servants. Carter's story is one of privilege and survival. When the ship hit the iceberg, Carter managed to get his family onto a lifeboat. He survived by boarding another lifeboat later, which was controversial because of the women and children first policy that was generally followed during the sinking. Carter's actions that night have been scrutinized and debated. Some argue that as a man of influence and wealth, he should have sacrificed his spot for others. But Carter maintained that he only boarded the lifeboat after ensuring his family's safety and seeing no other women and children in the vicinity. His story raises questions about the role of class and privilege in survival. Was Carter a hero for ensuring his family's survival? Or did he take a spot that could have saved another life? Lastly, we have Masabumi Hosono, the only Japanese passenger on the Titanic. Hosono's story is one of survival and discrimination. He survived by boarding a lifeboat, but faced criticism and discrimination when he returned to Japan because it was felt that he should have gone down with the ship, according to the Japanese concept of honor and masculinity. Hosono found himself in a life-or-death situation. He saw an opportunity to survive, and he took it. But his survival was met with disdain in his homeland, where he was branded a coward and lost his job. His story serves as a stark reminder of the cultural pressures and expectations that can shape our perception of events, raising questions about honor, masculinity, and the judgment we pass on survivors. Given the harsh backlash he faced, we're left to wonder, if Hosono had known the cost to his dignity and reputation, would he have still chosen to board the lifeboat? In the Titanic's epic tale, the story of its Chinese passengers has been largely forgotten. 8 Chinese seafarers bound for New York were among the ship's diverse passengers. 6 of them survived the disaster, a rate surpassing other third-class male passengers. Yet their stories sank into historical obscurity. Upon landing in New York, these survivors faced immediate deportation. Their experiences, distorted by the racially biased media of the time, reflected the sentiments under the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. This law, the first to ban a specific ethnic group from immigrating to the US, not only disrupted Chinese immigrants' lives, but also skewed their narratives. Their stories resurface in the 2021 documentary The Six. The film unveils the untold tales of these survivors and examines the enduring effects of Chinese exclusion laws. It highlights the long history of anti-Asian racism and links the Chinese Exclusion Act to the recent surge in anti-Asian violence that sparked the #StopAsianHate movement. Interestingly, the opening scene of the 1997 Titanic film, which depicts a Chinese survivor clinging to a floating door, was inspired by the real-life experiences of these survivors. This scene serves as a vivid portrayal of the resilience and tenacity of the Chinese survivors, who faced not only the disaster at sea, but also the challenges and prejudices of their era. In the Titanic's microcosm of society, the third-class passengers bore the brunt of the tragedy. These hopeful immigrants, lodged in the ship's lower levels, were the first to face the icy waters when disaster struck. Their escape was hindered by the ship's rigid class system, with locked gates and obstructive crew members. Of the 700 third-class passengers, only 174 survived. Awakened near midnight, they were falsely reassured and sent back to their quarters. As the ship tilted, panic ensued, driving them onto the deck. The language barrier added to the chaos, leaving many unable to comprehend the evacuation orders. Fear paralyzed even those who understood, trapping many in the steerage. Desperation peaked as passengers scrambled for lifeboats, with some men even disguising themselves as women. The Titanic's final plunge was marked by the harrowing sight of people leaping into the freezing water, a stark testament to the grim reality faced by the third-class passengers. A century after the Titanic's ill-fated voyage, the ship continues to make headlines. In 2020, over 100 years after the Titanic's tragic end, a fresh controversy surfaced. The center of this dispute was the Titanic's radio telegraph device, a crucial piece of equipment that played a pivotal role in the ship's final hours, sending out distress signals that alerted nearby vessels to the unfolding catastrophe. RMS Titanic Incorporated, the company with salvage rights to the Titanic, planned to retrieve this device from the wreckage. This sparked an intense debate. While they argued for the preservation of this significant historical artifact, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration filed a motion to prevent any activities that could physically alter or disturb the wreck, out of respect for those who lost their lives. Speaking of those who lost their lives, you might wonder, where are the Titanic victims now? Most of them found their final resting place in the icy depths of the Atlantic. However, some were recovered and laid to rest in various cemeteries, the largest of which is the Fairview Lawn Cemetery in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Each grave serves as a poignant reminder of the lives lost. Now let's talk about something quite extraordinary, the Titanic II. This isn't just a mere replica, but a living, breathing testament to history, meticulously crafted to mirror the grandeur and opulence of the original Titanic. The essence of Titanic II is twofold. It stands as a monumental tribute to the original Titanic, a testament to human ingenuity and architectural prowess. Simultaneously, it symbolizes our enduring quest to honor our past and glean lessons from it. The Titanic II is the brainchild of Clive Palmer, an Australian billionaire and politician. This ambitious $500 million project aims to recreate the original Titanic's fateful journey, transporting passengers from Southampton to New York. Initially announced in 2012, the ship's maiden voyage was planned for 2022. However, the Titanic II is still under construction as of today, a testament to the meticulous attention to detail and commitment to authenticity that this ambitious project demands. The Titanic's legacy continues to ripple through time, and one of the most compelling ways it's honored is through dedicated museums. Among these, Titanic Belfast in Northern Ireland emerges as a jewel. But what sets it apart? It's not just a museum. It's a living testament to the Titanic, standing on the very grounds where the ship was conceived, constructed, and launched. Titanic Belfast offers a time portal that whisks visitors back to the Titanic era. A standout feature is the Titanic Experience, where visitors can traverse full-scale replicas of the first, second, and third-class cabins. This tactile journey provides a palpable sense of life aboard the legendary ship. But the journey doesn't stop there. The museum also offers the Discovery Tour, a deeper exploration into the Titanic's history and construction. This tour is not just a recounting of facts and figures, but a narrative that weaves together the intricate details of the Titanic's creation, providing a comprehensive understanding of this iconic ship. The saga of the Titanic has gained a tragic sequel with the recent misfortune of the Titan submarine. The Titan, a tribute to the Titanic, embarked on a mission to document the ship's decay and the surrounding marine life. However, this mission was abruptly halted when the submarine lost contact during a dive near the Titanic's grave. The subsequent search led to the grim discovery of the Titan's remains, a haunting reminder of the sudden implosion that claimed all lives on board. The Titan's journey was a testament to human curiosity and the audacity to risk all for discovery. Like the Titanic's passengers, those aboard the Titan were driven by adventure and the allure of the unknown, each paying $250,000 for this daring expedition. The tragic incident in the Titan submersible claimed the lives of 5 individuals. These included Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate and the pilot of Titan, who was a former aerospace engineer and entrepreneur. Also among the casualties was Hamish Harding, a British billionaire with a passion for aviation. The list continues with Paul-Henri Nargeolet, a respected former French Navy commander who was often referred to as Mr. Titanic due to his extensive research on the ill-fated ship. The incident also took the lives of Shahzada Dawood, a British-Pakistani businessman, and his young son, 19-year-old Suleiman Dawood. The Titan's voyage, like the Titanic's, was marked by overlooked safety warnings. Despite expert cautions, the journey proceeded, echoing the Titanic's lifeboat debacle where aesthetics overruled safety. This incident underscores the critical importance of safety and expert advice. The world mourns these 5 explorers, their dreams forever lost in the ocean's depths. As investigations continue about the Titan submersibles, and we conclude this part of our journey on the Titanic story, we're reminded that it's not just a tale of shipwreck. It's a human story, filled with complex characters, moral dilemmas, and the struggle for survival. It's a story that continues to captivate us more than a century later. This is the History Time Machine. We'll see you next time.